Welcome, everyone. I'm, of course, your host, Bruce McGuire, and this is your one-stop shop for logic and reason as it is applied to any and all topics conspiratorial, true crime, paranormal, science versus scientism, historical, and for what I'm going to start with today, in the realm of sports and physical endeavor. Today I'm gonna open this up with the greatest athlete of all time, and no, it's not really debatable. Once you logically look at the metrics for sport and physical achievement, I do not believe this is debatable in any way. There is one athlete that is head, shoulders, entire skeletons ahead of literally everyone else. I may possibly have mentioned him before, so I'm not sure if I can give out brownie points for anybody in the chat who can guess. But we'll be looking at that, and as usual, crazy antics and asides galore in very unpredictable topics and predictable topics. I mean, we talk about Steven Seagal, Alex Jones, and Roller Jam quite a bit, as well as the 80s. As always, if you enjoy the MindShock podcast, find it interesting and informative and entertaining, you can donate to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share at Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case topological analysis, co-podcaster requests. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. Unless, of course, you are with us here live. Drop them in the live chat. I'll try to get to all of them. And you can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube. Help support the channel that way. Welcome, Justin Johnson, Run Boston Bear, Flat Bob, South to West, Heracles, Les Xylophone, Mr. 1-to-1, Deerin, first live I've managed to catch. Welcome, welcome. Heracles says Chuck Connors. Justin Johnson says Caitlyn Jenner. South to West says Wilt the Stilt. There is someone head and shoulders above all of them. I mean, we're talking lapped, not once, not twice, not thrice, not quadrice, but quintice or more. That's the lapping done by this one individual athlete. I'll let more people trickle in here before I do the big reveal. I may have mentioned this athlete once before. Mr. 1-to-1 says Greta Thunberg. Well, if being a useful idiot and a puppet for your handlers was a sport, I mean, she's up there. She's up there. All right. So Flat Bob did have a question. For, who do you think killed Kennedy? Which alphabet agency did it? Or do you think he was even killed at all? Okay, that's a major rabbit hole. I did do a multi-hour podcast. Only one episode. I have to do some follow-up episodes. There is new information. So, yeah, some people believe George W. Bush was actually there. HW or W or just W? Now I forgot. How old would W? Now maybe. That's a curious one. I'm gonna have to do another deep dive episode into that one. There is some guy that looks conspicuously like JFK, but it seems to be with any alleged assassination, they're always look-alike. So if there's some kind of DNA cloning program, a look-alike or other clone wouldn't necessarily mean that the one of either the original or a different clone wasn't actually killed. Let's not fall for false dichotomies here. We attempt not to fall for any logical fallacies at all here on MindShock. So, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It appears somebody was killed. Now, in the autopsy, apparently there were 3 shots to the head. So that's kind of unlikely to make that kind of shot even with a magic bullet. So, but anyway, from the beginning, it seems like the CIA may have had a hand. There was big oil at play. Few other conspiracies. JFK talking about secret societies mere weeks before his death. It's possible JFK was the last president who truly tried to make a difference and they just didn't let him. Or he was an actor like all the others. I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's hard to decipher without obviously having all the top level clearances. All right, let's get to. Finn says, what happened to Kennedy's brain? Might have been a small explosive device planted in it as insurance. Wow, I haven't heard that one before. Wow, I have not heard that before. But it stands to reason. I mean, certain insurance policies could have been, yeah, there could have been, I mean, there could have also been more than one shooter. Some people think the driver shot him. And there is some strangeness in the footage with the driver. So did they have multiple individuals and also a shooter from the grassy knoll? So did they have multiple shooters to guarantee the death? I mean, I don't know. Lord Zed says, everyone getting assassinated same way kind of at that time. Ritual. All right, so who can name the greatest athlete of all time? This is one of these topics where, I mean, I believe it's black and white. I believe this one individual leaves every other athlete in the dust by an incredible margin. I mean, we're talking such a margin that nothing can even be argued. Come on, nobody's naming Jordan, Tyson. Wayne Gretzky doesn't really get named as much anymore. Bobby Orr used to get named back in the day in the realm of hockey. What do you people got? Come on, impress me. Lord Zed says Lance Armstrong. Finn says, I know you're thinking Seagal. See, Seagal is a spiritual martial arts athlete. I'm not sure he would call him a spiritual martial arts master. I'm not sure he would call himself a sport participating athlete, because Aikido's not a sport. So I don't think, yeah, he's not in that category. Now, people like Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, they probably consider themselves athletes in sport martial arts, sports karate and kickboxing, etc. So, yeah, and obviously Seagal could easily defeat them. Well, not personally, but Chuck Norris and Van Damme. But, yeah, that still doesn't make him a sport athlete competing in sports competitions. So, for the purpose of this definition, we're talking greatest athlete participating in sports competitions. So that would not include Seagal. Seagal did play football in his high school years and possibly in a semester or two of college. But we don't know how good he was. We really don't. I don't know if any footage exists. And even if he was really good, I mean, you know, without any rings, I mean, what are you gonna, or records, you know, we can't really enter him into football category. Lord Zed says, Marciano never lost. Not a lot of athletes can say that. Wasn't there one fight that was questionable? I'm not the biggest Rocky Marciano aficionado, but isn't there one fight that people kind of, again, I haven't watched. I've watched some highlights here and there. I don't know if I've seen a single, maybe one or two full fights. But wasn't there a fight that had some funny scoring with Marciano? Let me double check, because that is interesting. Man, this guy has a lot of KOs. Yeah, there were a few split decisions, actually. Roland Lastarza was a split decision. I'm not sure if that's the one people... Yeah, actually, that looks like that's the only split decision. And then he had a unanimous against Don McGuard and Ted Lowry. and also a decision against Willis Applegate. Everything else was KO or TKO, and also another unanimous decision against Ezard Charles. So yeah, I wonder if that split decision is the disputed one or if it was one of the unanimous ones. So La Starza fought with Marciano a few times. Wow, that's weird. So the scoring was 5-4 Marciano, 5-4 La Starza, and 5-5. That should have been an even draw. So apparently there was some kind of supplemental point system used by New York and Massachusetts. And Marciano was the only one who had a knockdown, so they gave it to him. So that's a little curious on the rules, because Marciano had the most dominant moment when he knocked La Starza through the ropes. But apparently, La Starza potentially won all the other rounds other than that round, and there was also a 5-5 draw. How does he not lose the round getting knocked down? That is a little weird. So it probably should have been Marciano. Whoa, this is weird though. Rocky Marciano's manager, Al Weil, was the matchmaker for the Garden. So basically, La Starza felt he won the fight, and he thought there was a conflict of interest there. Now, there was a rematch, and Marciano stopped him in the 11th round. Interesting. But that first fight, so that could, yeah, it could either be, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like watching the whole fight right now if they even have the whole fight. But yeah, I mean there's some controversy there for sure. For some reason I thought there was another fight that was controversial regarding Marciano, but I don't want to spend too much time on that because the person I'm going to name, even if we say Marciano won all of his fights by knockout, the athlete I'm going to name leaves him in the dust. Flat Bob says has to be Simone Biles. Simone Biles would get destroyed by 7-year-old boys in her sport. If everybody competed all the events. Actually, do you want to go into Biles? Let's go into Simone Biles. Let's do some Simone Biles. So I did 2 podcasts on Simone Biles. I'm not attacking her in any way. I'm just objectively, obviously she's the most decorated American gymnast of all time. American gymnast, not gymnast. I did a whole podcast. Actually, you know what? I'm going to bring up those stats. I did a whole podcast I did one podcast on her quitting on her team. I mean, obviously mental health is important. And again, I'm not saying she shouldn't have done it. If she knows herself that well and she knows that she's that mentally weak, that she can't fight through some disorientation within the sport, which just, I would think every single gymnast has issues, you know, some kind of issues, not just injuries, but mental issues. And again, there are other athletes that probably did quit, you know, they just weren't, you know, in the top ranking and in the finals and all that, so people didn't know about it, but, you know, I'm sure gymnasts have withdrawn for various reasons. But you don't really you can't really call yourself the GOAT when you're quitting on yourself, quitting on your team, and again, she probably should have done it. She knows her strengths and weaknesses. But let's look at the stats, though. Let me see here. Yeah, let's look at this real quick. So, for those that don't know the differences in the sport between men and women's gymnastics, men's gymnastics, so, and look at the narcissism of this goof. She actually wears a goat symbol. I mean, the level of narcissism, and she was wearing it years before she was even top 7, maybe? for Olympic medals. Like, she wasn't even close to the GOAT. Now, from the previous Olympics, I think she's third. But she was wearing this years before. I mean, she was barely cracking. Actually, she wasn't even top 10, I think, before the last Olympics. So anyway, on the men's side, Sherbo got 6 gold medals in a single Olympics. I mean, that's crazy. So he won team, all-around, pommel horse, rings, vault, and parallel bars. He won 4 consecutive apparatus finals, becoming the first athlete to claim 4 gold medals in one day. I mean, nobody can even come close to this on the men's side. I mean, even Uchimura, the Japanese gymnast, who's heralded as the greatest male gymnast of all time, just tons of world titles, Olympic titles, he wasn't able to get 6 golds in a single Olympics. And, you know, a guy like Uchimura, he's not a narcissistic, you know, egotistical goof. When someone asked him who he thinks is the best, he actually named Sherbo for this reason. Also, on a personal level, Sherbo may have been a complete scumbag criminal who assaulted female gymnasts. So this guy might be an absolute scumbag in real life. However, we're talking, you know, on the accomplishment side. So I don't want to praise him as a human being, because apparently there's some pretty damning accusations against him. Finn Hagen says, the real Supermen you've never heard of, the Icelandic weightlifters. Nope, the guy I'm about to name destroys all of them, and it's not even close. But let's, who named Simone Biles? This is all your fault. This Simone Biles rabbit hole. Alright, so, oh yeah, so she was actually ranked, oh wow, 17th. So she started wearing the GOAT when she was ranked 17th for Olympic medals. Wow, I thought she was even higher than that. 17. Can you imagine wearing a GOAT symbol on your uniform when you can't even crack the top 15? I mean, that's a special kind of delusion. I mean, you gotta be real special to do that. See, now I think she's third maybe from the last Olympics. So, I mean, third isn't first, but... And it's not even close to first when considering everything we're about to consider here. But, okay. So, she obviously has a ton of world championship medals. So this was, yeah, I made this video before the last Olympics. So, here's the true GOAT, Latinina. So, she actually has less world titles, but total more, and again, with the European Championships, see, Pacific Rim, I mean, that's not as prestigious. All the powerhouses were in Europe. And so, she has 14 European titles, 14 world titles. Simone does have more world, she has 18 Olympic medals. She's also completely swept European Championships. Every event. So look at this here. Gymnasts who won medals in every event at a single world championship. Simone did accomplish it once, but the true GOATs, Latinina, and I thought Kozłowska did. Okay, wow. So Latinina did that at Worlds and at Worlds twice and at the Olympics twice. Kozłowska did it at the Olympics once. Silvas did it once. Gorokhovskaya did it once. Simone, 0 times. 0 times. So, and again, this was the medal count before the previous Olympics. So, oh, okay, actually... Oh no, this includes 2024. Okay, so now Simone is moved into third place. And obviously 4 silver, it's like, oh, some people are saying she's tied with Kozłowska for golds. Yeah, but Kozłowska's got 4 silvers. Simone only has 2. And here's the kicker. Here's the real This really tells the story. Now, without getting into their trials and tribulations, because Kozlovska, Czech Republic got invaded, so she was training in the woods while her countrymen were being killed in war. Meanwhile, Simone was a little dizzy one time and quit on her team. All right. Anyway, so you have here Latinina has more medals from major championships, way more at the Olympics. She's also swept at Worlds. She swept gold at Europeans and almost swept Worlds with 1 second place finish. Simone has never been able to get first or second place sweeps at anything other than the U.S. Nationals. But look at Kozlovska here. Look at the amount of sweeps Kozlovska has here. I mean, is that not GOAT material? I mean, first all around, first every single event, not just nationally, but at European championships with all the other European powerhouses. I mean, this is truly impressive. And she has the most impressive Olympic performance in 1968. She got first or second place in everything. And here's Simone's legacy. Withdrew. Or didn't qualify. So, okay. So this really tells the story of how Simone's not even close to the greatest gymnast of all time. If she does one more Olympics, I mean, then you could start having the conversation. But until then, and some people are like, oh, she has a couple moves named after her. Okay, in terms of top scoring, she actually doesn't score well in terms of artistry. Her execution scores are like low 9s. Like, so she doesn't have any of the highest execution scores. She just loads with difficulty like a robot, very mechanically performing high-level skills. So in terms of named skills, she doesn't even have the record for most skills named after her. That would be Nelly Kim. So in no category does she actually, other than being the most accomplished American gymnast, she actually doesn't really have the record in any category. So that was quite a long aside, but Lord Zed says, I think Armstrong, Marciano, and Mayweather are more interesting. Mayweather never lost either. Well, some people think he lost to De La Hoya, which perhaps we should do a whole analysis on that, but we're not going to do it now. Sander Jute asks, where were 58 and 62 Olympics? I don't know. Does that matter? I could double check, but I mean, does that matter? Alright, let me catch up on some, Oh, it was Flat Bob that started all of this. Let's do one more clip here, because this is funny. Just to shut the conversation down, because Simone is such a goof. She's such a goof. Let's, I don't think it's her that's saying, I mean, she said some stuff at Riley Gaines. She said Riley Gaines looks like a man or something. Perhaps not the person who should be saying something like that, but let's look at a clip here, and a lot of goofs on social media were saying Simone would actually be competitive against men in gymnastics. It's kind of hilarious, the level of goofery put forth by these brain-dead goofs. I mean, her vault isn't even close to the hardest vault they do in men's gymnastics. Her floor routine has tumbling that's not even close to the level of tumbling that the men are doing. She couldn't even beat 7-year-old boys on the rings or pommel horse. She could literally do nothing on those events. She couldn't outscore little boys. And people think she could compete with men. I mean, it's kind of insane. I mean, feminism has led to complete mental disability when it comes to just logically assessing things. I mean, it's just so crazy. Now, here's what happens when guys are just screwing around in women's gymnastics. And here's Nastia Liukin and Sean Johnson, very accomplished gymnasts who are apparently they're not as mentally disabled, or I don't know, maybe they are mentally disabled, but they're definitely not as mentally disabled as Simone. They're just calling it how it is. Let's look at this clip.
Depressing watching this because these are like skills that I could never do. I'm lost.
He's better than.
Oh my god! Oh! That was actually something that was insane.
That was insane.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sean.
I'm Nastia.
And this is Men Do Women's Gymnastics, which I feel like we're gonna be humbled because I'm guessing they can do better than us, but I don't know. I hope not.
Not too bad.
Can you edit this video super choppy like his?
Yeah.
It keeps all the dead space away. I like it. This is Men Doing Women's Gymnastics by Sports Everywhere. Okay, here we go. Oh. This is Simone's routine. He's doing Simone's routine.
What? Oh my gosh. The bios. Oh.
Didn't do the
It's
bios.
okay. That's okay.
Casual double. I
You
mean,
can do the bios.
bios.
Simone bios.
That's it.
No, I saw, was it Livy Dunn on Instagram the other day? I feel like I just saw her do it.
What is this?
Wolf turns, you guys, I just can't. I hate
my
wolf
knees.
turns.
My knees are
no,
breaking
they're
now.
just so ugly.
Oh, you don't like
I go on and on about them like every single time we're on air.
Wait. This is a man doing Simone Biles' entire dance routine and routine. This is amazing.
Oh
God.
Oh my gosh!
He's still going. Holy crap!
Wait, what the heck?
So, again, these are some unranked nobodies, just random guys screwing around in the gym. Justin Johnson says he took on the shape of a unicorn. And goofs are thinking that Simone can at least be competitive in her sport against men. I mean, you know what's kind of crazy? In different sports, like, there are women who can be somewhat competitive, like maybe crack the top. It's kind of hard to give a number. But let's put it this way. Not get absolutely obliterated. Like, if you take the absolute best swimmer... Well, let's look this up. What is the world record? I want to compare the difference in world records. So the fastest female 100-meter sprint is 10.49 seconds. Florence Griffith Joyner. The fastest man 100 meters is 9.58 seconds. I mean, that's only a second. That we're talking about approximately a second. That's not, you know. I mean, that's not that big of a difference. That's actually not that big of a difference. That's Usain Bolt's record. That's really not the most monumental difference. I mean, obviously that's a huge difference between first and 10th place or whatever. But just in general. Now, let's look at this random routine from like a 7-year-old. And would a 7-year-old absolutely decimate Simone Biles? Because Simone Biles can't do any kind of routine on rings or pommel horse. She might be able to do a couple things on parallel bars or high bar, maybe. Yeah, let's look at a routine from a 7-year-old boy. So, like, yeah, the fastest woman and the fastest man, it wouldn't be absolutely humiliating and embarrassing. I don't think it would be in swimming either. I mean, obviously, the woman's not going to beat the man, but it wouldn't be an absolutely humiliating defeat. Now, the fastest woman in the world could probably beat... Let's look at the fastest... I mean, what place would she be in? Alright, 100 meters, the fastest times ever. Wow, she might crack... I think she would crack top 20. Hold on here. Oh, she totally... Wait, 10... No. No. She wouldn't crack top 100. Wow, there's a lot of fast guys out there. So her time, fastest woman... So 10.49 seconds. So 10.49 seconds. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. She's not cracking 1,000. This is crazy. She's not cracking 2,000. Oh, she's not cracking 3,000. Oh, she is gonna crack 4,000. So the fastest woman, Florence Griffith Joyner, in 1988 ran the 100 meter in 10.49 seconds. Oh, wait a second. She might not crack it. 10.49. Oh, wait, never mind. She's not cracking top 5,000. Oh, she's not cracking... Is she cracking 6,000? She's not cracking 6,000. Okay. There were a lot of guys who ran a 10.49. So that's 7,900... 7,919 men have ran the fastest time, the exact fastest time. You can verify this on worldathletics.org. 7,919 men. So she wouldn't beat them. She would tie 7,919 men. And the 8,370... Okay, hold on a second. Yeah. She would beat... So she'd be ranked... She would be ranked tied in 7,919th place. But she would still beat a lot of other guys. There's a lot of guys that ran 10.5 in the 60s anyway, and earlier. So that's interesting. Okay, so if you're talking about the space in the ranking, okay, maybe that would be humiliating. But when you're just watching the race, to lose by a second, approximately a second, that's not that bad. That's really not that bad. That's not that humiliating. Darth Mocker says it was wind aided. Her coach blocked the wind meter. But what does that mean, blocked the wind meter? A lot of Marciano, wow. Flapop says, what's funny, Bruce is a good friend of mine, gave the highest praise to Simone Biles because he's a Texas fan. I shared a link to your video demonstrating she's not all she's cracked up to be. Funny. What was the response? If she does one more Olympics and actually manages to medal in every event final, then yes, you can enter the conversation. But until then, there's nothing to talk about. There was definitely nothing to talk about the previous two. Lord Zed says Mia Hamm beat Michael Jordan in those Gatorade commercials, Bruce. You can't forget that. You know what? It would be curious to see if Michael Jordan could beat a female soccer player, like, for real. If they actually... Because he's not a soccer player, but he's a pretty good athlete. Lord Zed says it's probably Deion Sanders for pure athleticism, or Wilt, maybe Shaq if you value a different sort of strength. But when it comes to mental, I value guys like Marciano more. Imagine Marciano not fighting because sad. Well, the reason I was... Oh, Flat Bob said there was no response. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with the facts. But it's also disrespectful to true GOATs. I mean, because Slavska's training in the woods because her country got invaded and her friends and family are being killed and sent to internment camps. She's training in the woods to still make the Olympics. Meanwhile, Simone got a little dizzy and just walked off. And again, not that she shouldn't have. Simone probably made the right call for herself. I'm just saying there's no comparison to true GOATs. Darth Mocker says, for records, it has to have wind lower than 2 meters per second. Wait a second. So the wind meter was only visible from one angle. And hold on a second. First of all, there's only one wind meter. It's not like one on each side. I'm not an expert in the wind meters for track. Is there really only one wind meter and it's not being verified by an official at every moment? Lord Zed says Kobayashi. Oh man, now we're talking it. But all right, hold on. Let me put up this routine from a 7-year-old boy, because in other sports, like the whole Riley Gaines thing, does anybody think a 7-year-old would beat Riley Gaines in one of her main events in swimming? A 7-year-old boy? I don't think a 7-year-old boy. Well, let's look at the records. So Riley Gaines' fastest time in the 200-yard butterfly, 1 minute 51.51 seconds. So this is a new SEC record. So she's a record holder. Okay, so let's see what the fastest 7-year-old for the 200-yard butterfly. Okay, there are no records. This 200-meter butterfly is generally not raced at the junior levels. Oh, wow, this is crazy. So juniors are just 18 years or younger. So swimming junior, so they can be 18. It's 18 or younger. So they could be 17 or 18. So there are 17 and 18-year-olds who are faster than Riley Gaines. But what about 7? So nobody that young, they don't do that? I'm also not an expert in swimming, although I do rank Ian Thorpe above Michael Phelps. We could talk about that if there's any swimming fans on why. Because I actually watched swimming back then for the race of the century, which Ian Thorpe won. Ian Thorpe defeated Michael Phelps. All right, here we go. Chelsea Britt, fastest 8-year-old girl ever. So she did the 100-meter butterfly in the 10 and under division in 1 minute 15. Riley Gaines has the 200-yard in 1:51:51. And the fastest in the 10 and under girls division, it's 1:15. So I think it's safe to say that there aren't any 7-year-olds that are going to be beating Riley Gaines, boys or girls. Lord Zed says, I swam. Gary Hall was my favorite. He was freestyle king in Stoner early 2000. What do you think of the Torpedo Ian Thorpe? Well, I think the only time he raced Phelps, he won, but that was the end of Thorpe's career and the beginning of Phelps. So, I mean, there's no true prime versus prime comparison, but the only sample we have is the Torpedo winning. Justin says, pretty telling that we would even consider a 7-year... Well, no, the reason I brought up the 7-year-old boy, that Simone couldn't beat a 7-year-old boy, because I'm pretty sure Riley Gaines can beat any 7-year-olds, boys or girls. Again, I'm not an expert in swimming. I don't know any of the, junior records or anything. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, if anybody can bring receipts to the contrary, I would love to see them. I'm not claiming it as 100% fact. I think it's safe to say Riley Gaines is not going to be losing to a 7-year-old boy or girl. Whereas Simone Biles here... All right, let me bring up the clip finally. So this is a 7-year-old. I mean, it's actually, you know what? There's probably 5 or 6-year-old boys that would destroy Simone. But this clip just came up when I was looking up rings, because I wanted to find, I actually don't know how young, I don't know if young boys train rings kind of heavy. I mean, I don't know, what's the youngest person to ever do a iron cross? Oh, wow. No way. What? There are 7-year-olds doing crosses. That's crazy. This guy made... Oh, okay, here we go. Alright, so this kid is 7 years old? This is weird. Yeah, hold on, I'll put it on the screen in a second. I'm just astounded here. I'm absolutely astounded. But hold on, though. Let me, Okay, hold on. Hold on a second here. Justin says, in my opinion, sports are for division and obfuscations from the real hard realities that are present. Now, there's definitely a bread and circus aspect to it there, for sure. But it also builds confidence and health and its entertainment value. But yeah, some of the sports nerds take it a little too far. And the team, I actually went over this in the Bread and Circus Super Bowl episode, just the crazed fanatics. Fan is short for fanatics. The people that have the jerseys and the body paint and all those, the crazy kooks. That's a little different when you're trying to take credit for the accomplishments of other people by calling them your team. That's different than just being able to appreciate, peak human performance and the hard work that it takes to get there. Those are two separate things. But obviously, you know, a lot can get lost in the sauce there. Yeah, YouTube is being really laggy. Hold on a second here. So apparently there's this 7-year-old who can do a 20-second iron cross, and there are videos of this kid doing crazy stuff. But okay, one clip at a time here. Let's look at this 7-year-old gymnast. This is at a state competition. Let's look at this clip first. Alright, finally here. So, who thinks Simone can do any of this? I mean, these are basic skills in boys gymnastics. I mean, I'd like to see how Simone even gets up there on those rings. I mean, I'm sure she's strong, but there's no way she could do all this stuff. Maybe she could do one or two of these things if somebody helps her up, like all the way up, not just lifts to grab the rings. She could probably dismount. I bet she could dismount. But she's not getting a perfect score like that kid. That's a 7-year-old boy. Simone can't even compete with 7-year-old boys. And people think that she could compete with men? I mean, it's insane. Like, other sports, okay. Maybe there are some... Like, again, the fastest woman is only about a second slower than the fastest man. That's not humiliation. I mean, I don't think that's that bad. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, the fastest women in the world are way faster than many men. And only approximately a second slower than the fastest men. Man, this kid's 7... I want to see the 7-year-old do a cross. There's a photo here and there's a video. But the guy made a lot of these videos private. I think people were just criticizing him that he's like forcing his kids to work out or something. I vaguely remember a news story about this. The videos of these kids are crazy, so I actually think this might be legit. He had videos linked, but now they're all private. I mean, man, this is kind of crazy if... Because, yeah, people were just saying he's kind of like forcing his kids to work out all day or something. But, yeah, supposedly this 7-year-old did a 20-second iron cross. There's videos of them doing other stuff, and they're crazy strong, so... Supposedly this is the record. Yeah, I mean, obviously Simone Biles can't even dream of doing an iron cross. I mean, she's not even close. She couldn't even dream of training it. So, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of crazy how people are saying Simone is the most dominant athlete at her sport. She would get destroyed by 7-year-old boys in her sport. You know, I don't think adult women, sprinters or swimmers, or even basketball players, who thinks a WNBA player is going to get destroyed by a 7-year-old boy? I mean, I just don't think so. I don't think they're going to get destroyed by these, you know, practically close to toddler level boys. Whereas Simone would in her sport. Lord Zed says, swimming is a sport women are closest. Yeah, let me check. What's the fastest? So the world record for men is 46.40 seconds for the 100-meter freestyle. For women's, it's 51.7. No, the running is closer, because running is only about a second. Even if it was wind-assisted, What's the second fastest woman's time? Let me check this. So the second fastest is not that far off. Elaine Thompson-Hera did 10.54. So it's still approximately a second. So the women are closest in sprinting than swimming. I mean, that's not humiliation by any stretch of the imagination. Whereas, I mean, if Simone tried to do the 7-year-old boys routine, she'd be completely humiliated. She wouldn't even come close to even being able to do it. Welcome, Ethan W. Heracles says 14-year-old. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about 14. I'm talking about 7. I'm talking about getting humiliated by 7-year-olds in your sport. Because Simone would get humiliated by 7-year-olds. I don't think any adult female athletes in other sports are going to get humiliated to that level by 7-year-olds. Flat Bob wants the Logic Olympics back soon, my friend, soon. Alright, let's finish watching this video. So these are just some random unranked guys. There's going to be a legit gymnast, world champ gymnast coming up in a second, and you'll see what he does in his off time. Whereas you don't see women doing rings or parallel bars in their off time as good as the men.
Heck.
Nice save. What?
Who are you?
Is that a wider beam?
Oh my god, stop. Okay. That's like
You
the
just
one
did
skill that I
aerial
always
air.
wanted to do. A side arrow back layout, and I could never do it.
So you have an Olympic champion getting upstaged on a woman's event by some random guy. I would also like to know how tall this guy is. He might not be a 6-footer, but I'm sure he's probably taller than Nastia and Sean. How tall is Nastia? Sean is tiny. I don't know if Nastia is tiny too. She looks tall next to Sean Johnson. She's only 5'3". For some reason, she looks kind of tall. Alright, let's see. Sean Johnson height. Because that beam is only 4 inches. So if Sean Johnson is 4'11". She's not even 5 feet. I want to know how tall this guy is. This guy's probably at least what? Like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", at least. And he's just destroying this beam. So this is crazy. And this is some random guy. This is not some kind of top-ranked gymnast. Justin says, these chicks don't even look like they're in the greatest of shape. Sean Johnson's still in, Nastia is still in really good shape. Sean, not so much, but Sean Johnson, Nastia posted something recently. Hold on, let me get a clip. Someone reposted something. She did some kind of flip recently. And how old is she now? She's still in good shape, though. Let me see if I can find a recent photo. Oh, this is pretty cool. Hold on, let me get a clip of this. Oh, wow, this is cool. This is 2017. So Nastia... Nastia won the Olympics in 2008. So this is almost 10 years later. So this is almost 10 years later. Check out this clip. There's also a recent clip from, I think, a year ago where she's still doing flips. She's still in good shape. You could say what you want about Shawn Johnson, though. Okay. So, yeah, check this out right here. She threw out the opening pitch in 2017.
Nasty.
Not a great throw, but look how easily she's flipped. She's not even trying. That looked like it took no effort for her to do. I mean, just absolutely effortless. So she's clearly still in good shape. That looked like zero effort exerted. Lord Zed says, honestly, the best athletes and hands down Secretariat, if we're being honest. No, I have a better athlete, and it's a human. Well, baseball's not her sport, to be fair. No, I remember seeing some girls in the 90s that played Little League. They could throw pretty good. You know, not better than the best boys, but they could throw pretty good. We're not talking softball. They were throwing baseball. They could throw pretty good, a lot better than Nastia here, but that's all they did. I mean, Nastia might have thrown, what, 20 pitches her entire life, if that? If that?
That's like
You
the
just
one
did
skill that I
aerial
always
air.
wanted to do. A side arrow back layup, and I could never do it.
That was.
Who are you guys? Like, this is insane.
Why are you competing in women's gymnastics?
I couldn't do a
But your
backflip
shoulders
on the
are-
beam.
What is this?
Oh! Casual
Yeah.
cartwheel.
It's the same guy.
Shapash,
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
stop.
Shapash half? I couldn't do that.
Okay, this is like depressing watching this
Yeah.
because these are like skills that I could never do. What?
Just 3 in a row. Casual. What are you gonna do now? Shapash full?
What you got, bruh?
What's a japosh?
Wow.
That's crazy.
I mean, we can work on the form a little bit.
Oh my god! Was not expecting that. What was that? I just missed the very end of it.
A veil, but... Okay.
How he's so flexible.
What? What? Oh.
I'm lost.
He's better than...
Oh my god!
What? I mean,
That was like my dream connection. A noti for an aerial side flip. I did it when I was 10 and then I grew and I couldn't fit it.
this
Grew all
guy...
the way to 5'2".
Oh!
Ouch.
Oh, don't solo it! Oh! Oh, gosh.
Ouch.
Oh!
Okay.
Okay.
You got it. That's why I didn't really ever want to do a shapash.
Oh, okay.
What?
I just snapped my groin in half. Is that a thing anymore?
No, because of
Oh
how close
my
your bones
god!
are.
No, 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 no!
No!
I'm sweating. No! How is a man doing this?
Whoa. How is this? Oh my gosh.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
No. Oh, okay.
Whoa. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. That was Nadia's routine, I think. Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Who's your team success now? This is Alicia.
It's kind of hilarious how these guys are just messing around doing all that stuff. Justin Johnson said he's definitely never having kids again. I mean, gymnastics is a sport about precision. He might have taken that on his hip bones, so he might be okay, depending on how precise he was there. I mean, even the female gymnasts, they have to be very precise, or there could be a lot of severe injuries on all the events. It's all about precision. You don't want to, obviously, take any kind of weight. It's all about catching yourself and being extremely precise. He appeared to be unhurt, so I'm guessing he was extremely precise there. But if you watch bloopers of both men's and women's gymnastics, you could see what happens when they're not precise. Justin Johnson says we need this dude in roller jam. Oh, that's outstanding. We really do. Can you imagine elite gymnasts in roller jam? That would be spectacular. Lord Zed says, when you have Dion athleticism and the focus of a ninja, you misspelled ninja, Lord Zed. You have Muhammad Ali. I'm not a fan of Muhammad Ali. I did this comparison on the greatest boxer of all time. I mean, I'm a general fan. I'm not a fan of calling Ali the GOAT. A very accomplished individual, but Mike Tyson just dwarfs Ali just physically and mentally. Obviously, with Customato and Rooney in his corner. You know, before Customato died, and then he spiraled out with Don King. But when he was focused, I mean, Tyson was just absolutely unstoppable. I mean, he was just so fast, powerful. The combinations. I mean, Muhammad Ali's nowhere close to that level of physicality, speed, or power. Lord Zed says, "Oh yeah, well, I'm not a fan of the girl you love from that movie." So there, which movie? What kind of blasphemy are you spitting right now, Lord Zed? Which movie are we talking? Which movie? You better not be talking about the Police Story movies and Maggie Chung. You better not be talking about Maggie Chung. Don't be coy, you know which one. Wait, no, I don't. Are you talking to Police Story movies with Jackie Chan? The Last Dragon. Oh, Vanity? How dare you? How dare you? I thought you were talking about Maggie Chung, which would be just unconscionable. But yeah, I mean, I could see how people might not like Vanity from The Last Dragon. Maybe. If I really, really do a lot of mental gymnastics. Maybe. It's kind of tough. Vanity's pretty awesome. How can you not like Vanity? I'm gonna have to take back. Well, okay. I could understand people not liking Vanity more than not liking Maggie Chung, I guess. Merman84 up in here, still not getting notifications. Yeah, sign up to the Patreon. The free tier will give you all the notifications for free as well. Mayor McCheese says, Bruce, are you still going to finish the Lost in Panama series? I finished the 7-hour video today. Yeah, we have part 3. So the 7-hour video was part 1 and part 2 together. I just did part 3 the other night. Yeah, there's going to be a part 4 next week. So we're going to... That may or may not be the last episode, depending on how long it is. But yeah, so part 3 is the continuation of the 7-hour video. And then part 4 is going to be next week, approximately. Alright, let's finish this video.
No, it's not.
No.
Can't quite hear the music.
Casual.
Lori Hernandez.
Lori.
I love Lori's routine.
Mine too. So good.
Down, 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 down.
You know what's funny, though? These random nobodies, these random unranked nobody guys that are just fooling around in the gym are doing the routines of the top female gymnasts. I mean, these are random nobodies.
Wow. Okay. Better splits than I had. Well, I mean, anybody could do that. Anybody could have better splits than me.
That ain't true. I mean, that's like a very great layout. That's so impressive.
Oh gosh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Why is it slow mo?
This guy's dabbing.
Triple?
No. Just a beautiful Arabian double front into split jump. Okay, that's just like not fair. What, like?
Yes, honey. I did a single.
I can't.
Are you
Done.
kidding me? I'm glad these men didn't compete in our day against us. I don't know if that was... Are you kidding?
Cash. Oh my god, this is so good. Watch this. I've seen this. This is insane.
Holy beautiful.
Kenzo, he's like how?
Beautiful.
So this is Kenzo Shiraya, world champion gymnast, Olympian. And so this is like the only actual high rank, non-nobody in this video. And yeah, when does he have time? So he has 6 events he has to do for men's gymnastics, and just, he finds this free time to just, do these uneven bar routines. It's just so funny. But look how honest Shawn Johnson is, that she's glad they didn't have to compete against these guys because they would have lost. Meanwhile, you have a lot of these goofy Simone Biles fans hallucinating she wouldn't get absolutely destroyed by even 7-year-old boys. Like, she can't even compete against 7-year-old boys. Like, imagine if men actually trained, the highest level men actually trained the women's events. I mean, it's just so crazy, like the goofery out there.
Beautiful.
Kenzo, he's like how?
Beautiful. Wow.
I don't get it.
I mean...
Triple turn, no biggie.
Didn't you do triple?
No. I mean, like on the low beam.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Chelsea.
I always tried to do that. Watch this. What?
I can barely do a full split, let alone grab my leg.
Oh, you should have done that. Switch leap to a back full.
What was
I mean,
that
not
I worked?
what.
What? Okay.
Switch leap to a back full. I don't even know.
I worked sheep jump back full.
Sheep? You did a sheep jump?
I did a sheep jump.
Whoa.
My back is the only flexible thing about me.
Wait, not at the Olympics though, right?
No.
Okay, just like where?
Come on, man. You're making us
This
all
is
look
like
bad.
Yeah, I don't.
Especially you. Okay.
Wow.
That's a white beam.
I was just about to say
Cheater.
a little help there. Oh gosh.
He's concentrating too hard.
I mean, that's solid though. That was perfect.
Very nice.
My toes would always get caught on those back turns. Like my pinky
I
toe.
broke my pinky toe doing that.
I hated when those became like a
he's
thing.
wearing a leotard. He's wearing a multicolored leotard.
You do that?
Okay. Oh.
That was in my routine.
That can't be comfortable. Okay. He looks nervous.
Yeah, very. A little timid.
Cute. Punch your toes, bruh. Yeah. Oh, that was rough. Oh, oh.
And here's the thing though, like adult men, even this gymnast here, at least he could put up some kind of a score on the beam, right? What kind of a score would any female of any age put up on pommel horse or rings? They wouldn't even be able to do a routine to even get a score. That's kind of the point here. Flat Bob says, so who do you think is the greatest athlete? You never told us. Well, this is all your fault because you brought up Simone. But yeah, we're almost done here.
Okay.
That was insane.
That was
Crazy.
humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling. Because a lot of them did gymnastics,
That we
our
couldn't-
own gymnastics better than we
yeah.
did.
That's crazy.
Humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling. Because a lot of them did gymnastics,
That we
our
couldn't-
own gymnastics better than we
yeah.
did.
That's wrong.
That is men do women's gymnastics, which, as you can see, they do it better than us.
Crazy.
There you go.
I mean, can you imagine the level of narcissism goofs like Simone Biles possess and her fans? Like, who thinks Simone Biles would ever be caught dead saying something that honest? But here you have these champions who they make no bones about it. They just call it how it is. And the thing is, most of those guys are random, unranked nobodies. Other than Kenzo Shirai on the uneven bars, all the other guys were random, unranked nobodies fooling around doing women's skills. Now, can you imagine if any of these, Nastia, Sean, or Simone, if they tried to do pommel horse? Like, they wouldn't even be able to complete a routine to even get any kind of score. Whereas even guys that aren't that good, they could do some kind of pathetic beam routine or uneven bar routine. They'll be able to do something. Oh, we got Darth Mocker says all-around athlete, maybe Bo. Bo knows. Flat Bob says, I see the error of my way. Yeah, you guys got to get the drum roll going, but this video is almost over.
Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other challenges between Nala Wilson and us, or any other gymnasts out there, please comment down below, let us know. Information is in the description. Join the family. Information is in the description below. Please follow her and go check it all out, and we will see you next time. Hey guys, it's Sean. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you loved it. If you want to join the family, please press subscribe.
Okay, is it time to unveil who is far and away the greatest athlete of all time? And it's not even close. Can anyone, let me set the stage here. Can anyone name an athlete that has dominated their sport for a decade? This is the big reveal coming. Who thinks they can name an athlete who has been the pinnacle of their sport for a decade? You guys are hilarious. Nick Saban? Was he an athlete or just a coach? Oh, he played quarterback on the West Virginia state champ team in '68. I'm assuming you meant as a coach, but... Alright, so nobody can name anybody? Bill Russell. Interesting pick. So Bill Russell... He played from 56 to 69 in the NBA. Wait, this is weird. Wait, did he also play as he coached? Because he played through 69 and he coached from 66 to 69 with the Celtics. That's kind of weird. Has anybody else done that? Alright, let's up the ante. Does anybody know anybody who's dominated their sport for 2 decades? 3 decades? Dare I raise 4 decades plus? Yeah, I don't know that much about Bill Russell. Flat Bob says Jackie Chan. Well, okay, so being an opera acrobat, I mean, that is pretty impressive, but, I mean, I don't know if there's a specific competitions, more of theatrical. Man, you guys know a lot of sports trivia. Lord Zed said Bill Russell was the first player coach in the NBA. That's kind of awesome, though. That's kind of awesome. Lord Zed says a black guy did it in the NFL, too, in the 20s. Heracles says Fuzzy Zeller. All right. Ethan W. says John Cena. Man, if being a wigger was a sport, perhaps. Perhaps. Would John Cena win the Wigger Olympics? Perhaps, but such a sport does not exist. Alright. Flat Bob says, just tell us. I'll do you one better. I'll just play a highlight video. Here we go. This is the greatest athlete of all time. And it's not even close. It is not even close. 4 decades plus of absolute dominance in his sport, starting at 18 years of age. Open weight domination as some scrawny 180-pounder defeating 300-pound plus men. The one and only. Drum roll, please. I'm not going to play the music as a copyright, but here's the highlight. He is the one and only John Berzank. 4 decades of dominance. 4 decades, people. Left hand champion, right hand champion, defeating absolute monsters, defeating the absolute best for 40 years. There is nobody that could come close to 4 decades of domination, open weight no less. I mean, this guy's been outweighed in, I think, almost every single match he ever had. Almost. There was maybe a couple where he wasn't outweighed. But he's usually outweighed by at least 20, if not 200 pounds. 4 decades of dominance. Justin Johnson says never heard of him. How have you never heard of the perfect storm, John Brzenk? 40 years of world championship dominance. Defeated all the greats. I mean, I think he's defeated more champions than any other athlete in their sport. Flap Bob says, I've never heard of him either, to be fair. Well, we'll go through his accomplishments a little more specifically. Darth Mocker says he turns his hat backwards to get focused, right? He actually was in Over the Top. Do you guys not know that? I'll put up the clip. 4 decades of dominance. I don't know what kind of a performance enhancing he's on now, but for the first 30 years of his career, he was completely clean. I mean, you can kind of tell. Like, he's in shape. He was a mechanic. But, I mean, he kind of looks like, you know, the average grandpa. Justin Johnson says, I have done some arm wrestling tourneys and witnessed 2 spiral fractures in 30 minutes. Ethan W. says, he's the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout. And he's a really nice guy, too. Who else has dominated their sport for over 40 years? Can you imagine? I mean, he competed for 42 years. "42 years at the top." I mean, he's not completely undefeated. He has a couple of losses here and there, but I mean, he's been winning world titles for over 40 years. Did Lance Armstrong do that? Did Michael Jordan do that? Did Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Rocky Marciano, did any of them do that? Sometimes being outweighed by 200 pounds? Justin Johnson, you did arm wrestling tournaments and you don't know who John Brzenk is? I mean, he's like the number one. He's considered by all the greatest arm wrestler of all time. I mean, he's the Michael Jordan of arm wrestling. This is him when he was really young. He started competing against grown men when he was 18 years old. He was winning, I think he won his first championship at 18 years old. Imagine being an 18-year-old, not of incredible size or stature. I mean, he was relatively average size. He got bigger as he got older, but he's also won left-handed world titles, and he's not a lefty. He's 60 years, he's only 5'11". He's 5'11". He's 220 pounds now. But he used to be around 180 when he first started winning world titles. And he was arm wrestling 300-pound champions. I mean, can any other athlete claim this? Can any other athlete in any sport ever claim this kind of size disadvantage? I mean, look at these hulks. Look at these steroid freaks he's destroying. Look at these steroid monsters he's destroying for 42 years. 42 years. Can you imagine anybody being at the top of their sport for 42 years? Ethan W. says Babe Ruth, not for 42 years. I mean, I'm saying it's not in debate. Like, there's no debate here. Which athlete has been at the top of their sport for over 4 decades? 4 decades of dominance. 4 decades? Who's been at the top of their sport for 4 decades? Who started winning world titles at 18 years of age against these behemoth 300-pound monsters? That's Cleve Dean right there. He's 300 plus pounds. John Brzenk here, I don't even know if John Brzezink's 200 pounds here. He started wrestling, arm wrestling in the 180s, I believe. The 170s or the 180s. He might be approaching 200 pounds here. Cleve Dean's over 300 pounds. Cleve Dean considered one of the greats. I mean, this doesn't even look real. Like, how does a guy that small just beat all of these giants? I mean, this guy's a giant slayer. So here's John Brzenk merely, this is approximately 8 months ago. This man is, so he's arm wrestling this 20-something-year-old. He's arm wrestling this 20-something-year-old. He's 60 years old here. This man is 60 years old. I mean, he still looks in good shape here. He might be on some, like, growth hormone or something now, but he was clean for most of his career. Who's 60 years old competing at the top of the game? I mean, he's not ranked number 1 anymore or anything, but... I mean, to be competitive at 60 years old, after 42 years of competition? I mean, look at him against this youngin'. What is this youngin' thinking? Like, can you imagine what this guy's thinking, getting wrecked by 60-year-old grandpa? Imagine being in your 20s, in your prime, in your late 20s, and you can't beat a 60-year-old man? This man is 60 years old! Flat Bob says, what's his secret? He has an unusually large hand and thumb. So part of that's genetics. Amphibious J says, genetically engineered for arm wrestling domination. I mean, look at him, though. He's getting beat here. He's getting beat. There's no quit in this, man. Look at that. Imagine getting out-stamina'd by a 60-year-old man. This man is 60 years old. Can you imagine, like, Michael Jordan at 60? I mean, Michael Jordan was impressive at 38, and I'm sure he was impressive through his 40s. 60-year-old Jordan is not taking any decent NBA player to school. I don't think. I mean, who thinks he is? I mean, there's just no quit in this man. I mean, you could tell he's 60. I mean, look at, he looks so old. He looks so old. I mean, this young guy just can't be... And the young guy's got a way bigger arm. I mean, look at that. No doubt on a ton of steroids, but... Oh, man, look at this powerhouse. This 60-year-old powerhouse. Can anybody name any other athlete who's even had 3 decades of domination, let alone 4? I mean, Fedor Emelianenko in mixed martial arts had about 10 years, but it wasn't complete domination. He got wrecked by Arona, by Krokop, so it wasn't complete domination. I mean, this guy's dominated for 2 decades. He had a pretty good undefeated run for a pretty good long time. Then he's got a couple losses sprinkled in, but I mean, he's been at the top of the game for 40 years. for 40 years. I mean, I'm still waiting for anybody to bring up a name of an athlete who's dominated their sport for 40 years. I mean, that's almost half a century. Imagine being at the top of your sport for almost half a century. I don't even know if he's retired. This was like 8 months ago. Amphibious J says Angel Reese. Well, speaking of the WNBA, here's a clip that I laughed at pretty hard. I don't know why I laughed this hard. Has anybody seen this clip right here? This is Brittany Griner. What's her name? I don't know what her name is. I think she's the one that got arrested in Russia or something. Check out the brazen nature of this drive to the basket. I just don't know why I find that so funny. I mean, look at that. Just the brazen nature of doing something like this and the celebration of doing it. Let's watch this again. Let's watch this in slow motion. Let's watch this in slow-mo. I don't know why I find this so funny. Oh, let me slow it down even more. Look at this drive to the basket. I mean, I've never even seen anything like this on the schoolyard. Grab the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a professional player. Why even have rules? Oh man, why even have rules? You just grab the ball and run with it. Oh man, I mean, I don't know why I find this so funny. It's just hilarious how, like, did he or she think they could get away with this? I mean, was anything even called here other than a possible foul? Did he or she think they were playing football for a second? Yeah, that's an elbow to the jaw as well. Why? I don't know why I find this clip so funny. When I first saw this on Twitter, I was losing it for like 10 minutes. Can you imagine like a NBA player doing this? Like, to be that bold, to think that you could just grab the ball and run like football, elbow somebody in the throat. I mean, what is he or she thinking here? I don't want to misgender. Like, I don't know. I mean, did he or she just think they were playing football there? It looks like they just thought they were playing football for a second. What are we even watching? So yeah, anyway, is there anybody a greater athlete than John Brzenk? Here's the match that I saw where I had to really give it to Brzenk. I don't know. He's just the giant killer. I mean, this man is outweighed by such incredible proportions. And he just about always wins. For 4+ decades? I mean, come on, seriously. Is there any other athlete who's at the top of their sport, not necessarily the champ, but competitive at the highest level for over 4 decades? Here's Brzenk versus Denis Simplinkov. I mean, look at the size of this guy. A lot of people thought Brzenk was going to lose this one. Flat Bob asks, all-around athlete? Any athlete. Any athlete. Has any athlete been at the top of their sport for over 4 decades? With or without weight disadvantage? I mean, even Karelin, the wrestler, he went, 10 years undefeated? I mean, he was dominant for a decade. Who's been dominant for 4 decades in their sport? I mean, it's just unheard of. Especially when outweighed. I mean, he's just arm wrestling these just incredibly huge individuals as a relatively, like, an in shape, but an average in shape. Like, you see people like John Brzenk walking on the street all the time. You don't see that many people like Denis Simplenkov. I mean, this guy's huge. But John Brzenk, he just looks like a relatively, athletic guy. A guy that, frequents the gym or has a home gym. He's in pretty decent shape. But you wouldn't think he's the greatest athlete of all time. I mean, he kind of just looks like a random, decent-shaped guy walking around. Justin Johnson says, no one, Bruce. You have a strong claim here. That's why I said that I don't think it's debatable. I mean, can anybody name an athlete who's been dominant for 3 decades? I mean, there's a couple that were maybe approaching 2 decades. Do we have anybody that was dominant for 3 decades in their sport? I mean, the closest, Jordan had a pretty good career. I don't think he got 3 decades, though. Let's see here. Well, he also retired, but... Yeah, Michael Jordan had 15 seasons, so not even 2 decades of dominance. And he didn't win his first NBA season either. John Brzenk won his first world title at 18 years old, 1983. He only lost a single super match between 1982 and 2015. So obviously there's various matches, but as far as super matches go, I mean, just look how huge Simplenkov is. I mean, John's not skinny, but Simplenkov is just ginormous. I mean, the guy looks like the Hulk. John Brzenk only lost 1 super match from 1982 to 2015. That's 33 years with only 1 super match loss. I mean, he's literally defeating people twice his size. I think Cleve Dean was over 300 pounds. So a lot of people actually consider Devin Larratt one of the greatest of all time. Some people think he's better than John Brzenk. So let's get the receipts here between Devin Laurent and John Brzenk. So John Brzenk winning his first world title at 18 years of age. Obviously, Michael Jordan didn't do that. I mean, none of the all-time greats did that. And to maintain the dominance from 18 years old to fit to into your 50s and still competing in your at 60 years of age? I mean, that's insane. How long was Phelps' career here? Let's see here. So Phelps, 6'4", 194 pounds. So his first international long course competition was 2000, and his last was 2016. 16 years. Yeah, so Phelps had a 16-year career. Now, keep in mind, Brzezink's not even a full-time athlete. He works full-time as an airplane mechanic. So this guy's the greatest athlete of all time while not even being a full-time athlete. I mean, while being outweighed, while not being a full-time athlete. I mean, there's literally no category you can say there's a better athlete as. Amphibious J says, does bowling count as athletics? Sure. Can you name a bowler who was at the pinnacle for 30 to 40 years? I mean, let's see. Oh, wow. Apparently there is one. Wilford Rhodes had a career from not 40 years, 1899 to 1930. 31 year. He had a 31-year career. But was he dominant, though? How many titles did this guy have? Oh, not bowling. He played cricket? A cricket player. Wait, why did it say bowling? So this cricket player had a 31-year career. I don't know anything about cricket. So he had a couple of county championship titles. Apparently that's it. So his most successful seasons were 19 to 1902 for Yorkshire. So only a couple of years of dominance. Yeah, I can't hold a candle to Brzenk. I mean, there's definitely guys out there that have had really long careers, but they're not champions. They're not the best in their sport. Ildefonso Lima played soccer for 26 years. He played for the Andorran national team for 26 years and 82 days. So not even 3 decades, and again, not championship domination. I mean, is there anybody? Can anybody name anybody? Like, who would be the number 2? I mean, basically, number 2 is up for grabs. Clark Rice says in billiards, Mosconi played championship level for a long time. Yeah, let's see how long. Because I actually don't know. So he lived to be 80. He was 19-time world champion. Wow, that's a lot. That's almost 2 decades of dominance. All right, so number 2 is up for grabs. Who's number 2? So when he started playing, though, he came in 5th place at his first World Straight Pool Championship. Unlike Brzezinski, who won first in his debut. So in 1933, how old would he have been? So he was approximately 20. Whereas Brzezinski is already winning the world title at 18 years old against grown men. Grown, experienced, much bigger men. He retired in 1966, making it to the final of the World Straight Pool Championship, but lost. So his dominant period was 41 to 57. 16 years of dominance. Okay, so it's not confirmed how, for some reason there's dispute over, I don't know why there's dispute. I mean, I would think records in the 40s and 50s would be pretty solid. It's actually, some sources claim he won the Straight Pool Championships 15 times. Some sources say 19 times. I don't know. Encyclopedia Britannica says 15 times from 41 to 57. So 16-year career of dominance. Wikipedia says 19 times. Bunch of other websites are saying 15 times. Yeah, so he had about 10 years where he was considered completely unbeatable. Actually, another source here is saying he won the World Pocket Billiards Championship 13 times in 15 years. So approximately 2 decades, we could say approximately 2 decades of dominance. Yeah, I mean, if he's still making it to, he's still playing high level even without winning for close to 20 years. I don't know, 20, is anybody approaching 30 years? Justin Johnson says Seagal number 2. Well, again, Seagal didn't really compete in competition, so he's not really in the equation. Even though he could beat a lot of these, or practically pretty much all these sport karate guys who did. Clark says, I believe they actually changed the game during that time. Yeah, no question he's in the conversation. Moscone's definitely in the conversation with nearly 2 decades of dominance. Lord Zed says, Sly beats that guy at arm wrestling 6 days a week and twice on Sunday. I think you'd be surprised, my friend. I think you'd be surprised. This is on the set of Over the Top. Brzezinski easily dominating the scrawny Stallone. Okay, I didn't put the... Did I play the clip? I didn't play the clip of him versus Devin Larratt. So let's look at this. So this is all of their matches. So Devin Larratt, I mean, look how unimposing John Brzezinski is. He looks like some random computer program with those glasses. So Devin Larratt is a 6'5" former Canadian Special Forces. I mean, this guy is big. And he's gotten progressively more jacked. I mean, look how huge he is, even there. When he stands up from the table. I mean, this guy is ginormous. And then he just gets more and more jacked every year. He's putting up a good fight here, a lot better than their first encounter. But I mean, he's put on so much muscle since that first encounter. Look at the struggle. I mean, and a lot of people don't know, arm wrestling actually was going to be in the Olympics. Then there was some controversy about the governing bodies of competitive arm wrestling. There were like 2 different governing bodies, and they couldn't agree on things, etc. But so here's John Brzezinski just completely dominating Devin Larratt while in his prime. I haven't even seen this match here. Wow. I've never seen this clip here. I don't know if it's an official. It might be unofficial. Okay, this is an official. This is official. Wow, Devin Larratt finally got one. I haven't seen this one either. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know Devin beat him that early in 2008. Although, how old is John already here in 2008? So he's 43. He's not that old. Interesting. I wonder if 2008 was John Brzenk. John Brzenk was kind of injured, like, not too many years of his career, but there was like, I don't remember. There's a few years where he supposedly was injured, then took like a little bit of time off. I do not know if this is within that range or not. But wow, in 2008, he lost every round to Devin Larratt. Or wait, there's another one? How many rounds are there? Yeah, he lost every round in 2008 at 43. Okay, now this is 2015. So John's 50 years old here. He's got white hair and everything. 50 years old. This might be Devin Larratt closer to his prime here, because Devin just keeps getting better and bigger and more technical. So here's a 50-year-old John Brzenk. In their previous outing, Devin Larratt beat Brzenk every round. Look how huge this guy is. 6'5", solid muscle. Yeah, hold on. Let's see how old is Larratt in 2015. So he's 40. Okay, so he might be slightly... Well, I don't know if he's past his prime at 40, because he kept getting... Devin Larratt kept getting better and better. So Brzenk is 50 here. Larratt is 40. So in their previous match in 08, Larratt was 33 and Brzenk was 43. Oh, he got one. And here's Brzenk with the domination. 1-1. Who is doing this at 50 years of age at the top of their sport? John Brzenk defeating Devin Larratt in all of their outings except 08 and except 2021. They didn't show 2020. Oh, they didn't show 2021. Yeah, Larratt beat him a few years ago. But, yeah, so look. So Brzenk won 4 out of 6 of their matchups. I mean, the 2015 one is truly impressive. So however you want to mix it up, closer to prime, Brzenk beats him. So really, is there any arm wrestler greater than John Brzenk, or athlete of any kind? Clark says, what about Joey Chestnut or Kobayashi as the world's most dominant pro eater? See, I don't know. Are we really going to call eating a sport? I mean, come on. What's next? Whoever could sleep the longest? We'll start giving out trophies to comatose people? So Kobayashi started competing in 2000 and he focused on Nathan's until 2009 and so both Kobayashi and Chestnut have been competing for about 20 years. But I don't know if we could call competitive eating a sport, because what about competitive sleeping? I mean, it's just weird. I mean, obviously it takes a certain amount of training and mental strength and physical fortitude to handle that amount of food. But it's just, yeah, I wouldn't call it a sport. Competitive eating. You could call it that. It's a competition, but not a sport. South to West says Kobayashi stormed on the scene in 2000 to 2001. I remember it like it was yesterday. Clark Rice says Kasparov was ranked number 1 for 21 years. See, I have a little bit of an issue with chess considered a sport as well, just because I remember when I was a kid, people used to say, if you can't break a sweat doing it, it's not a sport. Like, you could break a sweat playing pool, playing billiards. You know, fast-moving game, long enough game. The only way you're breaking a sweat in chess is if you're playing in a hot environment where you would be sweating even if you were just sitting there doing nothing. That's the only way you sweat in chess. Or checkers. Are we going to call checkers a sport? It's a competitive game. I have an issue with calling it a sport. Sport is supposed to be physical endeavor. Lord Zed says, I'm the greatest fantasy football player ever, and I'm being sincere. He was actually the number 1 player for 21 years. So he's got the most consecutive professional tournament victories at 15. That's not that much. So he didn't win all of them in a row. He didn't win the 21s in a row. Even though he was ranked number 1, he only had 15 consecutive tournament victories. Something to keep in mind. So he had the number 1 ranking for 20 years and 2 months. So if we're talking games plus sports, perhaps he's number 2. But I want to keep it to physical sport. Actually, you know what? I think I have another contender. Oh, I think I have our number 2. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just verify something here. I think I have an undisputed number 2. I have an individual here. 25 years of dominance. Various near deaths and comebacks. Brownie points for anybody who can guess this. I believe this is the absolute number 2 behind John Brzenk. I'll play a highlight. This highlight is 11 years old, but this guy's still going strong, setting records in his sport. Setting records for over 25 years. So it's not 40 years. It's 25 years of death-defying dominance in his sport. There was actually a guy that was better than him, but only for a few years. I believe less than 10 years. The other guy is dead. Who can guess? Who can guess? Brownie points for anybody who guesses the second greatest, most dominant athlete of all time. Clark Rice says snowboarder Shaun White. That's actually not bad. Shaun White, because a multi-sport athlete as well. That's actually a really good pick. I mean, the guy looks kind of annoying and unlikable, but that's a really good pick, and he's only 38 years old. Five-time Olympian, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. So, 22-year career. So 2006 to 2022. 22 years. That's not bad. Shaun White is a solid pick. So he got 4th place at the 2022 Beijing Games and announced his retirement, especially if he makes a comeback. Because he's only 38. Especially if he makes a comeback and he competes, top level, I mean, he might have a case. He might have a case. I just thought of 2 other guys. So Tony Hawk only skateboarded for 17 years, but that's pretty good. 17 years. Not as much as Shaun White, though. Who else was I thinking of? Was it another skateboard? There was some other guy in the same vein as Tony Hawk and Shaun White who competed for... Oh, I got him. So, this guy never competed, but Laird Hamilton, even though he never competed officially, I mean, he's been surfing forever. I mean, this guy's technically still active from the year 1970. He started surfing in 1970. That's 55 years of surfing. I mean, it's a little different because obviously John Brzenk started arm wrestling earlier than 18. So when we're talking about people who didn't officially compete, that's a little tough. But Laird Hamilton, he's 61. He's in phenomenal shape. But yeah, I mean, he's known for the big wave surfing. I wonder what his last event was. Let's see here. In 2014, he surfed Hurricane Marie. Interesting. That's in 2014, so he would have been 50. Still big wave surfing at 50. I mean, you could put him in the conversation, Laird Hamilton. But the guy I'm about to name, I'm going to put this guy at number 2 because it's not so ambiguous. Run Boston Bear says, I'm only 40 minutes back now. Loving this arm wrestling segment. John Brzenk is legendary. I liked watching Popeye arm wrestle. He's tiny compared to who he's beaten. Yeah, especially when he started his first world title at 18 years of age. Flat Bob says, brownie points for a hint. Shaun White Clark. Shaun White is a spectacular pick. I mean, just the high level accomplishment, multiple sports. I mean, you gotta put Shaun White up there. I mean, I don't really like the guy. I don't find him charismatic. He kind of looks like a spoiled punk. A spoiled, entitled brat punk. But you can't argue with the stats. Especially if he makes a comeback. If he makes a comeback, he could be top 5 for sure. All right, hold on. Let me drop this highlight reel of who I believe. So over 25 years of record-setting dominance, base jumper and wingsuit athlete Jeb Corliss. 25 years of dominance. 25 plus years, multiple near-death accidents, and he just keeps coming back for more. I mean, this guy's setting records like crazy. I mean, he's got a ton of firsts. He's got a ton of jumps that nobody will replicate. This is Jeb Corliss, base jumper. I mean, just absolutely incredible, death-defying athlete. I mean, this is spectacular. 25 years of domination. 25 years. What makes this that much more impressive is so few people can do this sport long term because they end up dying. Because it's so dangerous. So there's kind of extra points here for Jeb Corliss, and he almost died so many times. And not only that, but he returns to where he almost died and redoes the jump. mean, this is incredible stuff. I mean, this highlight reel is more than 10 years old. This guy's still doing jumps. This guy is still at the top of his sport. This is my pick for number 2. Skydiver and base jumper Jeb Corliss. He's 49 years of age. In 2015, he said, "I know 100% that this sport is going to kill me. That makes me take it very seriously." And this highlight doesn't even include the flying dagger. I'm gonna put that clip up right now. This was incredible. I remember watching this when he did it. It was all over social media. This is crazy. This is the wrist camera from this jump. This is a camera on his wrist. I mean, this is absolutely incredible stuff here. Putting it on the screen right now. This is his wrist camera. Look at how insane this is. This is 2013. It's scary just watching it on a screen. Can you imagine actually doing it? I mean, it's hard to even imagine doing this. It's terrifying just watching it on a screen. Can you imagine actually doing this? Ah! Oh, man! Ah! No margin of error whatsoever. Let's watch that again. There's just no margin. Let me get a different angle, too. Over 2 decades of dominance in his sport here. Possibly the most dangerous sport ever. So this is how narrow what he just flew through is. I mean, this is crazy. That's how narrow it is. Various previous crashes, but... Wait, is this just a teaser? Okay, yeah, he's gonna do it. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, it's just a teaser? They didn't show... I want to see an angle, like a wide angle. Okay, I found it. Okay, here we go. Again, just the top of his sport for over 2 decades. He hasn't done anything super recent, but we'll see what he does next. But yeah, this is absolutely
Have you ever
insane.
liked 160 meters wide and float safely to the ground?
Can you imagine doing that?
Now you don't have to, because this is probably...
That's the wrist camera we just watched before. Now here's the wide shot. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, man. No margin of error. He kind of looks like Devin Larratt, the arm wrestler. So there you have it. The greatest arm wrestler, the greatest athlete of all time. I'm putting John Brzenk. And then I got Jeb Corliss here. The base jumper, wingsuiter at number 2. Can anybody dispute these claims? Honorable mention goes to Shaun White. There was also another sumo wrestler. I forgot. Someone named a sumo wrestler. There was yet another one who was dominant for about 20 years, but not more than 20. So the only guys that have been dominant for more than 20 years are John Brzenk and Jeb Corliss. Unless somebody can think of somebody. Yeah, Shaun White's at 16 years, so technically, yeah, some of these sumo wrestlers. Hakuho Sho, Mongolian-born Japanese professional sumo wrestler. Most tournament championships, 45. Most undefeated championships, 16. But he didn't win right away when he first came out. See, that's the other thing. Like, when you're talking dominance, like, some of these guys just, they come out to the top right out of the gate. But, yeah, that's it for now. So, hope everybody enjoyed another edition of MindShock Q&A Hangouts. If anybody has an athlete more dominant than John Brzenk or Jeb Corliss, feel free to drop them. If you want to help support the podcast, you can do it to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.